Hands up. 3536, shots fired.
10-4-3,
It starts quiet. A morning burglary in Fresno. A silent vehicle alarm in Baton Rouge. But in seconds, calm streets erupted with muzzle flashes, flying safes, armored fugitives willing to fire first. One drove a car straight at officers.
Over here. So the situation was he tried to rob me, and my boyfriend beat his ass. But he pulled out a gun on me, so be careful.
Stay here.
And now he over there standing.
Another pulled out an AR-15 and opened fire. Two different cities, two ambushes, and two moments where officers face sudden life-or-death decisions, all captured on Bodycam.
Hey man, show me your hands. 3536, we got one at gunpoint. Get out the car and show me your hands.
These weren't premeditated standoffs, they were routine calls, until they weren't. January 26, 2025, Fresno, California. It started just after 7 a.m. with a frantic...
Headquarters news that can be around to 36 locations. 20 German, Ralph.
Exit the vehicle with your hands in the air.
911 call from a woman inside an apartment complex near North Backer and Shaw Avenue. She wasn't sure what she was seeing at first. Three men, all armed, approaching a neighboring unit. One held a shotgun.
Sir, exit the vehicle with your hands in the air.
Another carried a bag. At first glance, she thought it might be police, but it wasn't. These men weren't knocking. They were breaking in. Surveillance footage later confirmed it. The men stormed the front door. Forced their way inside. A short time later, one of them drove a silver SUV across the courtyard, tires bouncing over curbs and sidewalks, parking it directly in front of the door.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! He's getting out.
Inside the apartment, they found what they were looking for, a heavy safe. The suspects heaved it out and tried loading it into the SUV. That's when the first Fresno police officer arrived.
10-4-3,
Come on.
Bodycam shows officer number 1 spotting two suspects outside the vehicle. He immediately gave verbal commands. Get on the ground. They didn't listen. They jumped back in, slamming the SUV into a nearby building as they reversed, then punched the gas, driving the vehicle straight toward officer number 1. Fearing for his life, the officer discharged his weapon. The vehicle fled the complex at high speed. Officers initiated pursuit with multiple patrol units coordinating along main roads and side streets. Moments later, officer number 3 executed a deliberate collision, attempting to disable the vehicle. Through the cracked windshield, he spotted the driver, 37-year-old Amicho Mancia, reaching for what looked like an AR-style assault rifle inside the vehicle. Officer number 3 fired multiple rounds through the windshield from inside his patrol car. The bullet struck Mancia, but he wasn't finished. He bailed out and fled on foot, bleeding, running westbound toward a nearby campus. Officer number 2, arriving from another angle, believed Mancia was still armed and fired as he ran. A K-9 unit was deployed, quickly closing the distance and tackling Mancia in a grassy area. Officers moved in, secured the weapon, and applied emergency first aid. Meanwhile, inside the SUV, the second suspect, 43-year-old Antoine Mancia, was still seated. He surrendered as officers approached, hands up. A loaded AR-15 style rifle was recovered from the vehicle. Also inside, drug paraphernalia, gloves, and stolen property. A shotgun was later recovered inside the ransacked apartment. What made it worse, Amicho was wearing body armor, prepared for confrontation. Though it had no visible bullet impacts, the intent was clear. Both suspects were transported to the hospital, one bleeding, the other.
14 apart, where it's in the middle of the complex. It's in the middle of the complex.
Complaining of pain, and then booked into jail. The third suspect, 28-year-old Aaron Gary, was identified by detectives and arrested 3 days later. All three now face charges of home invasion, felony assault on a peace officer, firearm possession by felons, and conspiracy to commit robbery. This wasn't spontaneous. It was a well-coordinated burglary with guns, tactics, and clear preparation, and it nearly ended in tragedy.
Stay right there! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! I got the car on the south side.
April 20th, 2025, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It was early or just after 3 a.m. when officers were dispatched to a motel parking lot on Gwinnedale Avenue. The call wasn't about violence.
Stop right there! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Just a vehicle alarm going off and a suspicious man sitting inside, not responding. But as officers approached the Super 6 motel, they noticed something strange. The man, later identified as 34-year-old Kevin Valian, remained perfectly still. He didn't answer their calls, didn't raise his hands, didn't explain the alarm. The body cam footage shows officers approaching carefully, hands on holsters, giving multiple chances. "Let me see your hands, come out now." Still nothing. And then, without saying a word, Valian reached down, grabbed an AR-style rifle, and opened fire. The gunshot cracked through the air, and one officer responded instantly, firing back from... Just a few feet away. Valian was hit. He stumbled out of the car and collapsed several feet away on the pavement. Officers rushed in, secured the AR rifle and a handgun also found on his person, then immediately began CPR.
Guy in the car still! There's another guy in the car still. Another guy in the car.
The entire shootout lasted just seconds, but the standoff had lasted much longer. And despite being fired upon, officers maintained composure.
Let me get that. I got you.
Moving from defense to rescue within moments. Valian was later pronounced dead at the hospital. No officers were injured.
Hey, I'm gonna put this in my car.
Police confirmed that the officers gave numerous warnings and showed restraint until the weapon was raised and fired. 2 cities, 2 confrontations, one common thread. From Fresno to Baton Rouge, these weren't complex calls. They weren't raids or drug busts. One started with a burglary call, the other with a blaring alarm. But the truth is, what seems routine rarely is. Bodycam footage shows the moments the public doesn't often see. A suspect slamming his SUV into police vehicles, a man grabbing a rifle from the driver's seat and opening fire, officers holding their fire until they can't, and then racing to save the very people who tried to kill them. These weren't textbook situations. They were unpredictable, fast, and deadly. And the footage, raw, unfiltered, proves it only takes seconds for everything to change. Let me know if you'd like the outro in the same unified voiceover style as your previous scripts, or want a shorter version for edits. In California, an armed home invasion escalated into a running gunfight through residential streets. In Louisiana, an early morning standoff ended in gunfire and CPR attempts on a man who had opened fire just seconds earlier. These moments didn't start with violence. They started with warnings, with patience, with restraint. But Bodycam shows what still photos never can: the sudden shift from control to chaos, the instant decisions officers must make to defend themselves or die trying. And most importantly, the reality that danger doesn't wait for backup. Because when the line between routine and deadly disappears, it's not training that matters most. It's what you do in the next 2 seconds.